And let's see, are we recording? It looks like we are. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Susie Jackson, and I am in North Carolina, here to have a little coffee talk with you today. We're very excited about ENERGENTICS' newest coffee. And so we're going to talk a little bit about why this coffee, why should people use our coffee? And we need to get people thinking about why they're drinking what they're drinking, okay, whatever coffee they're drinking. And then, why they would want to drink pure energy, okay? So let's get started. And let's just have a little fun, and we're going to have some testimonials, a little bit of training, and see if we can't get some momentum growing here. The first thing that we all have to acknowledge is that this pure energy is the first organic coffee plus energy that is created for health and wellness. It is officially, in my opinion, the world's healthiest coffee. And so, as I said, our job is to educate people because we want them to be drinking our coffee, and we have to help them understand that not all coffees are created equal. As a matter of fact, if you go in your back office, there is a document for coffee tasting parties, and it is a step-by-step procedure that really makes it easy for everyone. What I want to point out in this today is on page 5, it actually gives you the instructions on how to make the coffee. And that's really important. So any of your new distributors, any of your people that you're sampling, your prospects, we have to educate them on how to make the coffee, which is very simple, but you just have to kind of explain it to people, right? So they boil the water, they mix it in with sample, and they stir it. And like all good quality teas and drinks, we have to let it steep a minute, okay? So that it can really, unleash the power and the magic that is in there. So we let it steep for a minute, and then we stir it again. And, you will notice that there are some grinds at the bottom of the cup. And, the best way to explain that to people is, it's not unusual for high quality coffees to have grinds. I mean, we see it all the time in espresso. But, when you buy certain fabrics, silks and everything, they tell you that you will see flaws, or imperfections in the fabric, but that is actually the design, the natural design of it. So that's kind of how I explain to people about the grinds, that's just kind of the natural design of this high quality coffee. And, if you don't like grinds, which I personally don't, and what I do to really enjoy my coffee to the fullest is after I've let it steep, I pour it through this little strainer. And that gets all the grinds out, and I can fully enjoy every last drop. And, that's something that you can explain to people if you like, but coffee connoisseurs are probably kind of used to having a little sediment in the bottom of their cup. Not all coffees are created equal, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about unhealthy coffee. A lot of people are not aware that the coffee that they're drinking contains mold and microorganisms and mycotoxins that can really journey into those drinks through the roasting process, through the drying, through the traveling process, and say they don't really realize that they're actually putting toxins in their body. And a lot of people are drinking a lot of coffee these days. So, if you're drinking something that has toxins in it, obviously the more that you're drinking, the toxins that you're putting in your body. And so many of these coffees today, we'll see some of them are over roasted. And so that destroys any antioxidant property that, would have been in there. But here are some of I did a little bit of research. Here are some of the unhealthy effects of coffee. Number one, it produces a lot of hydrochloric acid. It's very acidic. So I need somebody to mute out themselves, if they could, please. So this can cause digestion issues for people, ulcers. There are actually some people that that we're going to teach you how to survey some people, but there are actually some people who don't drink coffee because it bothers their stomach. Okay, well, that's not going to be an issue with Pure Energy. So some of these coffees are going to promote heartburn. They're also, due to their nature, going to prevent mineral absorption. So this is part of why coffee has a bad rap. It has a good rap in some areas, but a bad rap in other areas, because if it's depleting and your body of magnesium, calcium, and zinc, that's not healthy, and that can eventually create problems for our kidneys. The way a lot of coffees are made and the high caffeine concentrations are going to lead to extra stress. You know, people can really get wired on coffee. You know, it's kind of like, hey, I need this to get through the day, but it wires me, and it actually increases the production of cortisol, which is our stress hormone. So it's actually, you know, can put on weight, okay? And it's not healthy for you. And then, of course, so many of these coffees are going to contain potentially harmful chemicals, acids, what they call volatile organic compounds. Here are some of the chemicals that are in there. Even formaldehyde is possible. Most people aren't going to be aware that they're putting this, you know, putting these things in their body because they don't think about it, right? So I mentioned about cortisol. And then it's also, because of its nature, unhealthy coffee is going to create some difficulties in handling stress, because we're in this anxiety fight or flight mode, and that's not really the best, you know, opportunity to handle things. And also, it can lead to having cravings for sweets and salty, which can put weight on us. And there's also the potential for this chemical down below. I can't even pronounce it, but it's a type of fungus, and it's been known to be a potential carcinogen. So here's our big competition, right? You know, let's talk about these coffees on the left primarily, the McDonald's, the Dunkin', the Starbucks. You know, these are mass produced, and we really don't know what's inside of those. And we really want to talk to people about what are they getting for the money that they're spending. What is your coffee getting? Because then when we talk to them about all that they're going to get for Pure Energy, it's an easier decision to make. And then these other two on the right, Organo Gold and Valentis. Now, these are network marketing companies. They have, their coffee tastes very much, well, Organo Gold I don't even think is officially a coffee. I think it's a mushroom drink. I may be mistaken. But Valentis, these people are making fortune, and these coffees taste horrible. So we have a coffee, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, that actually tastes delicious. So that's kind of part of what our job is what are you drinking, why are you drinking, and what are you really getting for what you're drinking? So, as you all are aware, we launched the world's first coffee in the world that is completely focused on maximizing the health benefits. Now, somebody put this chart together, and I thought this was really cool because, you know, most people, they can buy all different types of coffee. They can buy one for focus, they can buy one to lose weight, they can buy it for mood, beauty, or energy, genius blend, all these different things. But we can easily show people how they can get everything in one single coffee. Excuse me. And somebody went to the trouble to put just some of the ingredients. You know, we have many ingredients, but to put them in these categories. Okay, so what do we have in this formula that, you know, specifically addresses focus and clarity? What do we have in this coffee, Pure Energy, that addresses your metabolism and weight loss? What do we have in here that addresses mood and your well-being? What do we have in here that's also going to nurture your hair, skin, and nails? What do we have in here that's actually going to increase your energy flow and your performance and vitality in your daily life without taxing your adrenals? You know, many people are addicted to coffee because what happens is just regular coffee can damage your adrenals. And so you kind of go up, you have energy, and then you have a crash, and then you got to go back up. With pure energy, you just feel great all day long. So let's talk about some of these ingredients, because there's too many to go over all of them. But I was really impressed when I started to do my research to find out, okay, what are we really putting in our body? So one of the main ingredients is green coffee bean, and it functions as an antioxidant. We know that the antioxidants in this coffee are double what you could get anywhere else, and we know how important antioxidants are for our health. So green coffee bean extract has been shown to improve our glucose, which is our sugar levels, our glucose metabolism, help with blood pressure, and this may be a real benefit for people who are at a high risk of disease, heart disease and diabetes, rather than unhealthy coffee, who increases the likelihood of disease. Now, L-theanine, I have heard before, and that's a supplement that people can just buy off the shelf. But hey, wouldn't you just rather drink it in your coffee with everything else? You know, you could say to people, hey, how do you prefer to take your nutrition? Do you prefer to swallow tons and tons of pills? Do you prefer to go without good nutrition? Or do you prefer to have it in one simple drink that you can get it and feel better? So L-theanine is it's known for helping with better focus and boosting the immune system, improving sleep, whereas, you know, regular coffee tends to do the exact opposite. It actually helps with relaxation. It increases our cognitive performance, which is something that everybody is wanting to do today. Brain health today is at everybody's awareness, because we're very much aware of the increase in dementia and Alzheimer's. So people are going to be particularly interested in how they can protect their brain. It also can help with weight loss and reducing blood pressure. Another wonderful ingredient is L-tyrosine, which is an amino acid that the body produces, and it is to increase, guess what? Brain chemicals, which are then going to have a positive effect on our mood and our response to stress. And here's something interesting too. It also increases dopamine levels in our body, that in our brain actually, that help with deep thinking and memory. And in my research, I was reading that regular coffee can increase dopamine as well, but what happens is it's only temporary. It goes up and it comes back down. So this is something for more of a lasting benefit. Now, NeuroFactor is something that I had never heard of, but it is clinically proven to increase something in our body called BDNF. And, you know, the bottom line that you need to understand about that is going to, I had to make myself a little note here because I've never heard of BDNF, but it positively affects and protects the nerve cells and helps with the growth of nerve and brain cells. So that is awesome. So it's going to help with cognitive health, and it's going to help with our memory, where regular coffee is not going to do that. So coffee that's enhanced with the NeuroFactor, you're going to really be able to enjoy, you know, increased health, you know, brain health benefits. And that should be something that is important to everybody. And then you see at the bottom that this BDNF stimulates and controls the growth of new neurons. And that's going to help us with our brain capacity. Then we have an ingredient called Mucuna L-dopa, and it is known to improve cognitive function, increases testosterone and libido, improves mental alertness, and increases, get this, motivation. Don't we all need that? Oops, that's a boo-boo. All right. Then another ingredient, I wanted to highlight this because I had never heard of it before. I don't know that I could even say it, N-hormonal dopamine. So that is going to be another ingredient for our brain. It's also going to increase our metabolic rate, increase our blood flow, and it has a reduced muscle protein usage, which is going to be easier on our body. So this is going to help with weight loss and actually our energy levels as well. Now, this is something that not a lot of people know about. It's called lion's mane. And so we have a real opportunity to educate people with this. I don't know that too many people are aware of this, or certainly not in a coffee, but it's called lion's mane. And it is for brain health. You see, there's a lot of brain health protection in this formulation. And, you know, that's why people drink coffee in the first place, right? Because they want to be alert and they want to be able to function. So this is really powerful. So not only is this going to help you be alert and focus and have more energy, but then it's going to fight anxiety and depression that can come with regular coffee. It's also a natural anti-inflammatory. It's going to help the nervous system. It's going to help our digestive system. And it's going to support heart and health and good circulation, and helps to balance our sugar levels, which are going to control our eating. It has anti-cancer properties, and it improves energy levels. So can you see that as people learn about the power of these ingredients, that they're going to want to take something like this? Because I guarantee you those pictures of those competitive coffees, they don't have that in there. And so it's important for you to know what you are getting as you consume it, and what your prospects and customers are going to be getting. You've probably heard of ginseng, but did you know that it also increases energy, helps with cognition, also helps with blood sugar and cholesterol levels, helps to reduce stress, promote relaxation. So isn't that what we really want? And I just remember when I first tried the product, I said, you know what, I'm experiencing what I would call a healthy energy, okay? So I felt alert, I felt vital, I felt focused, but I didn't have any jitters, I didn't have any anxiety. I mean, it was just a good feeling, and I think that's what most people want. We don't want to be too jazzed up, you know? So this is also going to help reduce stress, promote relaxation, and then again, we've got more anti-inflammatory properties. We're going to be supporting our immune system, addressing erectile dysfunction. So our men are going to be very interested in this, we know. Now, organic moringa is probably one of the most nutritional ingredients on the planet. So that's why I put up here at the top that it is very nutritious. So isn't that funny? Just think about what you drink before Pure Energy. Would you ever think of your coffee as being nutritious? Would you ever think of coffee as being a place or a substance that you're going to get vitamins and minerals? No. But this is rich in antioxidants. This too helps with blood sugar. I mean, we're just having multiple ingredients doing a lot of the same things, but in different ways that gives for a better and a more comprehensive result. So this too is anti-inflammatory. And again, we've got that immune support, and that's just not things that you normally think about with your coffee. So I think people could get really excited about this. Now, a lot of people know about turmeric, but they don't know about turmeric in coffee. So it has many scientifically proven health benefits. It's probably one of the most well-known anti-cancer substances on the planet. So most people will recognize it. It's also part of our relief patch. So it's an extremely powerful product, but it's going to aid in the prevention of heart disease, again, Alzheimer's, brain health. Again, we've got the potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and helping with symptoms of depression and arthritis. That's going to be because of the anti-inflammatory benefits. And I know Jeff had some information about how they're showing that coffee, you know, can help in depression. And so, you know, this is going to be a great formulation for that. Okay, so, you know, does your coffee help with improve your skin, hair, and nails? And the answer for most people is going to be no. Why? Because remember, if most coffees are not going to provide any type of protein or building block, which is what collagen is, and it's actually going to be sucking the minerals out of their skin, hair, and nails. So it's going to help with joint joint pain relief, prevention of bone loss, which is very important for all of us, increasing our muscle mass. And it's also going to help with heart and gut health, which again is not something that you would normally expect from coffee. And then, of course, weight loss. Now we have this ingredient called Theobromine, and it's really what you find in chocolate. And if you've noticed, there's some cocoa flavoring in our coffee. And so that's probably where this is coming from. But this too protects the heart, increases our energy, works to increase blood flow to the brain. How about this? We've even got something for healthy teeth. It improves your mood. Again, it's reducing inflammation, and it's going to promote a healthy respiratory system. So I hope you're getting excited about all these ingredients, because really, you know, we have the world's first healthiest coffee. Plus, we didn't even talk about the Tesla energy that is going to deliver these ingredients to the cellular level, affecting our DNA. So I don't think anybody's coffee is doing that for them. And one of the things that you see over here on the left is that we can tell people with great confidence that our product has zero contaminants, that it has endured rigorous testing to ensure that our coffee is contaminant free. And that's just not going to be the case with commercial coffees. So this is a sheet that Jeff put together, talks about how the coffee works and the different benefits. And of course, it's a partial listing of the ingredients over there on the right. And this is something that you might want to print out. I believe this is in the back office. This is something that is great to include with your samples, with your coffee parties, so people can actually see what they're getting. Because, like I said, not all coffees are created equal, and we have to show people the features, the benefits, and why they would want to switch over to pure energy. So it is the healthiest coffee in the world. It begins with the beans, and of course it ends with a touch of energy. So what we're going to do next is I want to have a few testimonials so that you can hear from some people exactly what the coffee is doing for them. So let's start with Dr. Goff. Dr. Goff, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, Susie. Can you hear me okay?
And, yes. And would you do me a big favor, please? And, you know, not everybody knows who you are or actually what you do. So would you tell us, where, you know, before your story, you know, where you're from and what type of doctor you are, please?
Sure, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity to talk. And Susie, you're doing a great job with this training. I think this training is second to none. And I'm really excited about the coffee. But my story is, you know, physician, dentist, board certified oral surgeon, been in the medical industry for 35 years. And a while ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I decided to kind of be an anti-doctor doctor. In other words, the way medicine's going today, to me, is I'm going to use the word corrupt. And so a matter of years ago, I had high blood pressure. I had cholesterol problems. I go to my doctor. He puts me on a couple of meds. I threw the prescriptions away, and I started my experience using nitric oxide and using CBD oil, as well as turmeric and even some of the other products that are in this coffee. So I became a big believer in holistic health. I became a big believer in the industry of direct sales. And a little over a year ago, I was introduced to the ENERGENTICS products through a representative in Pittsburgh. And I really didn't believe that this stuff would work. But a year ago, using the devices, the card, the hologram chips, actually took my pain away. It gave me a lot more energy. I sleep better at night. And I became a big believer in the ENERGENTICS products, just based on the stuff that we had a year ago, which we have today. And we cannot unfocus ourselves from those products because they're world class. But then all of a sudden I started hearing about ENERGETICS coffee, and I said, okay, that makes sense. And I talked to the CEO, Jeff Jeff Cohen, I said, is it caffeinated? He goes, no, it's decaf. I said, gee, I just drink caffeine coffee. I mean, and he says, this is going to up ramp the caffeine without having caffeine. It'll be like coffee on steroids. And so I said, okay. And I tested the coffee and I liked it and I got a little energy. And so today, I usually drink 2 cups a day. Now I'm on my 3rd cup right now because I got a busy day coming up. I got about 1,000 things to do. And all of a sudden, I'm almost through my 3rd coffee, and I'll tell you what, I'm so energized right now, it's ridiculous. But number 2, I have a focused energy. I have a healthy energy. And when Susie goes over all the side effects of regular coffee, and that's true. I mean, regular coffee generally is not really good for us, although if you drink certain kinds of coffee and you drink maybe 3 or 4 a day, it'll actually decrease the risk of dementia by 65%. Wow. So I've been a major coffee drinker over the years, and I'm very healthy. I only take 1 prescription sleeping pill at night, then I'm weaning myself off. But these products, including this coffee, I think is really going to up ramp my health and up ramp the health of so many people out there. So I'm a big believer in the company. I'm a big believer in direct sales. I'm a big believer in this compensation plan. I'm a big believer in the coffee and all the products because I use them all. So anyway, if you want me to add something else, Susie, just let me know.
You are so fantastic. You are so fantastic. I couldn't have asked you to do any better. Thank you so much, Dr. Don. Now I want to hear from Terry Mueller down in Florida. Terry is going to share her story with us. She's kind of her story is interesting because Terry doesn't normally drink coffee. And so you're going to run into people that don't like coffee, don't drink coffee, but you've got to ask them some questions. So Terry, can you unmute yourself and share your experience with us?
Okay, good morning, Susie, and everyone that's on the call today. No, I've never been a big coffee drinker because I was a marketing rep for 16 years and I ran into 3 times. I guess my competition was trying to get rid of me. Anyway, it always gave me the jitters. But now I do like the ENERGENTICS coffee because I don't get the jitters from it. And also I love that all the vitamins that it has in it because it's absolutely awesome. We have even stopped buying some of the vitamins that we were buying because Frank and I have been into natural products for years, 25 years. And I always said if you use natural products and do a lot of exercise, you can live a long time and be healthy. I want to live, but I want to be healthy, okay? But anyway, when we got the coffee, when Jeff Cohen sent us the sample packages, we got them on a Wednesday. That Thursday, we were leaving to go to North Carolina, where I'm originally from. And I said, well, Frank, let's save these until tomorrow morning and make them when we get ready to go. So that Thursday morning, after we got all ready to go, I heated up 16 ounces of water using my quantum card. And then I put the coffee, emptied the 2 packs in there, and we drank them. And on the way, I looked at Frank and I said, honey, do you feel as good as I do? And he had the biggest smile on his face. He said, yes, this is awesome. We're going to get rich just from the coffee. And oh my gosh, we had such an awesome trip. About 15 minutes after that, after drinking the coffee is when you really started to feel so good. And I thought, wow. And anytime we go anywhere, we always take a list of people that we brought into the business. And I just got on the phone because Frank was driving and I made a couple of dozen calls. I called people all over in the US and in Canada. And they said, oh my God, Terry, you sound awesome. I said, hey, wait till you get this. You're going to be sounding the same way, you know, because I love the coffee. I think it's wonderful. I think this is the most awesome thing that we have in our products here today. I really do. And Frank didn't like the grinds in it. So what we do, we have a drip coffee maker, and we use the gold tone filter. And you use that, we run our water, pour it in, and then empty the package in the filter, and it takes care of all of that. And hey, it saves a lot of steps. You can go on Amazon and get these. They're not that expensive. They usually last about a year, and they work awesome. So that is my testimony. If there's anything else you would like me to say, I'll be glad to.
No, that is so fantastic. Thank you for your thoroughness. And two things that I want to pull out from your story is, number one, you know, like I said, not everybody's going to drink coffee or is drinking coffee, although there's gazillion bajillions out there, but you may run across somebody. So it's really important to ask people, oh, well, why don't you drink coffee? And then they might tell you that it gives them stomach issues or it makes them jittery. And then you can say, you know, I understand how you feel because others have felt the same way, but what they have found is that this is a healthy energy without the jitter. So that's number one that I liked about your story. And then the other thing that I thought was important is what a great idea is to drink the coffee, wait 15 minutes, have all this great energy, and then get on the phone. You know, I often do that with people. I say, you know, I know I sound like I'm really energetic. I got a lot of energy. I said, but I do. I said, it's this new coffee I'm drinking. Oh, really? What is that? So that's great, Terry. Thank you for your sharing and for your inspiration. And now let's call on Dr. Al. Are you on the call with us, Dr. Al?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Would you tell us what type of doctor you are, where you're from, and then tell us your experience with the coffee, please? Thank you.
Sure. Well, this is Dr. L. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And actually, I'm a chiropractor, and I work with Dr. Joe Goff, that was just given a testimonial a couple minutes ago. And actually, when I tried the coffee, I understood it's not supposed to be one of those stimulants like, you know, super stimulants that you buy in a supplement store that just makes you all buzzy, crazy, and jittery with energy. So I drank it, and I didn't expect a lot. And it felt kind of good. And as the day went on, something that happened, usually, you know, after lunch and everything, and after working all day, getting up early, you get tired. And it was kind of odd because I didn't get tired. I just had a wholesome, you know, keep going type of feeling. Like I was feeling pretty good, and my mood was even better psychologically. So I basically forgot about it. And after a whole long day of work, I go to the gym at night, which is sometimes pretty tough. And I have a real hardcore bodybuilding routine where I take all my sets to failure and everything. It's pretty draining. And all of a sudden, I'm getting out a couple reps on some different exercises, and I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty neat. This new routine must be working. And I'm not as tired. So I can't understand what's going on. Then after I was done, I recovered real fast. I felt like usually you're wiped out and you're crawling out of the gym. I felt like staying in the gym and doing more work. And I couldn't understand it. And I'm thinking, I didn't take any other supplements today. I forgot about the coffee. I didn't take any other supplements. Now I take some pre-workout that's some really wild stuff that stimulates you and gives you the jitters real crazy. But I always take that. And I never had this kind of a response. So I'm thinking, oh, I must have taken a different one. I went and I looked in my bag, and it was the same one. I know I only took one scoop, and I'm pacing around the gym trying to figure out what the heck is it, you know? I want to be able to continue to do this. And all of a sudden it hit me, oh my God, that's right. I drank the coffee, and I remember not being tired after lunch. It was the only thing different in the day. It had to have been that. And then of course now in the future, I've used it again. And I'll tell you what, the fantastic benefit is it doesn't make you jittery and go bonkers and everything, and then expend all your energy, in 30 minutes and then have to recover and crash. Okay.
Right.
Same thing with like regular caffeine and all those other stimulants. This, you just feel wholesome, solid, good energy, feeling well, but it lasts throughout the day longer. And if you have to do something that requires endurance, then all of a sudden you really are able to last. You really have the increased endurance and you actually recover real well. And I think that's a tremendous benefit there.
Fantastic. So thank you for sharing. And so it has great application for workout. And you know what? Based on this call, we can say that this coffee is doctor approved, and even doctors are using it to enhance their performance in their jobs and in their workouts. So that's awesome. So doctor approved and doctor recommended. Okay, last of the testimonials before we get on to the sampling is I want to call on my friend May Lillywhite from the UK. May had to wait a little while because the coffee had to travel over the pond to get to her. But May, tell us a little bit about your experience, like maybe even what you were expecting and what you experienced.
Sure. I'm a coffee drinker myself. I just love it. So when my coffee arrived eventually, and I tried it for the very first time, I put the water into it. I could smell the aroma. And then when I put I had it black actually, I want to try it out neat. And so I just tried it out and I drank it all. And I thought, this tastes really good. And I noticed there's some bits at the bottom, which I didn't realize it should be there. So anyway, after the first cup, I just was more mentally focused. I had more clarity. But when I read, what I noticed of all was when I read, the words were jumping out at me. I thought the words got larger. And I thought, I can read this even faster than I usually do. And the words got bolder and got darker. So I thought, okay, so it's obviously doing something in my brain and something with my eyes. So that's my experience with the coffee. But of course, the next time, and then I was asked Jeff, and he said, yeah, there are some bits at the bottom, which is ground coffee. And now what I do when I drink my coffee is that I still have it black, but then I actually drink the ground coffee as well. I usually put some more water and I shrift it and I just drink it down. So I thought, I want to get every bit of this. This has got all the supplementation in it. And the coffee is so healthy and there's no contaminants. And I like eating coffee beans anyway. So this just suits me, down to the ground. And recently, one of my friends, Edith, has just signed up to do the business. And immediately, she also found a big difference with her as well. She just loved the coffee. She said, oh, I love this coffee so much. And of course, being in UK and Europe, we're all coffee drinkers. So the marketplace is here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, May. That's a great story. And, when you start drinking those grounds, that means you have full confidence in this formulation and in this coffee, because evidently you want everything to last bit. And we know those grounds are energized, and there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you like to do. So thank you guys for sharing these stories. And I hope that you are getting the picture of the power of what we have. Now, all of you are on here, I am sure, and you're with Energetics because you want to make money, right? You have a why to do this business. But what we have to have is a how, right? Because we always tell people, you supply the why, and we will show you the how. So what we want to do next, I'm going to bring on a friend of mine. But before I do that, I just want to share with you that what we're going to do next is, I guess I would call it Sampling 101, okay? I've been in the industry for, I guess I'm in 19 years now. One of the most valuable things I ever learned, well, two of the most valuable things that I ever learned and committed to memory was, first, a quote from J. Paul Getty, who said, I would rather have 100% No, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of my own. And that's the power of leverage. And that's how you can create a phenomenal income. And because network marketing is not about a lot of people doing a lot. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. What network marketing is about a lot of people doing a little, okay? And so then because the truth is that there's going to be different type of people that come into your business. And we say there's going to be crawlers and walkers and runners. And you can't make a crawler a runner, and you can't make a walker a crawler, and you certainly can't make a runner a crawler. So people will find their own pace. But what we want to do is educate people on something that the masses can do, that is so simple that we could teach anybody how to do it. And that brings me to the second most powerful quote that I ever learned, which was from Don Fala, who wrote a network marketing book. I think it's called How to Build a Large Network Marketing Business. The book has sold billions of copies all over the world. The guy is so brilliant. But what stood out for me was, excuse me, until you teach people something they think they can do, they'll do nothing, okay? So what we want to do today with the help of my friend Laura Maddox is we want to teach you just something that you can teach others that is so simple that anybody can do it, okay? But this is what's important, because as I said, not all copies are created equal, and we've got to get this ball rolling of educating people on the power of what we have from a product standpoint, but also from a business standpoint for people who see the opportunity here. Now, Laura has been in the industry for, I'm going to say at least 20 years, probably just a little bit longer than me. She's earned fortunes. She's built tremendous businesses. She's had her own network marketing business, and she's actually also been a corporate trainer. So she's going to train you today on something that you can get going on today. And as you think about what she's talking about today, excuse me, as you listen to what she's saying, I want you to think about, okay, what if I could have large numbers of people in my business doing what Laura is teaching? How could that change your business from today? Think about, what are the people in your business doing today, okay? And I want you to have a vision of what we could get happening in your business, because she's going to teach you something that will not only get momentum going, but it's going to be able to help you identify who are the customers, who are the crawlers, who are the walkers, and who are the runners. And every one of those people are important, okay? Because when you build a large network marketing business, you have all different types of people, and we want people to have the experience that they came here for, whatever it is. And like I said, you can't make a crawler a runner. You'll just frustrate the heck out of yourself. And when you get a runner, there's nothing you can do to stop them. I mean, they're just going to go full bore ahead, all right? But we got to get started somewhere. So I'm going to quit sharing my screen so that you can see Miss Laura. And when she's done, I want to also show you a beautiful piece of artwork, PDF tool that Mr. Jeff put together that will be in your back office probably later today. So I will do that at the very end. All right, Miss Laura, I'm going to let you take it away, my friend. Thank you for being my partner in crime, and let me unmute you and take it away, Miss Laura.
Can you see me and hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Susie, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for calling in today. I don't have much time, so I'm really going to belt through this. And what I want to explain to you today is it really I'm giving you an overview of a whole system that basically that I've been using for the last 30 years. And I've always been in health and wellness, and bringing the coffee now into the market is terrifically going to be a game changer. And what the system I'm going to teach you to do is we're going to teach you how to take the knowledge that you have off of ice and turn it into income. And now let me also say that this is not intended to replace the coffee parties and the coffee tastings that the company has put together. It's an alternative, and the reason I say that, or it's another option, is a better way of saying that. And the reason I say that is because I've got a number of people, as we all do, in my business who who are new to the industry, and I'm thinking of one in particular who lives all the way at the other end of the state. You couldn't be further away. And for me to go and help her do a coffee party just isn't going to work. So I don't want her to, sit around and twiddle her thumbs. I've also got people in my business in England. As a matter of fact, in 2 weeks, I'm going over to England to work with my team, and I'm going to promote the heck out of the coffee. And I'm going to share with you a little bit on what I'm going to do. So this is an effective strategy for sampling. And what you're going to do is use a survey form. And like I said, I've been using of this for 30 years. And it's a really good way to get your business to a fast start. And it's going to make it easier to get your first appointments. And Susie and I are updating a manual that I have to make it current and to deal with this particular product that has scripts and questions and objections and everything. It doesn't talk about the health benefits or the product knowledge like Susie just did, but this is how to take that knowledge and transfer it, like I say, into income. And what you're going to do is it's really an enjoyable way of involving your prospects or your clients in a non-pressurizing way. And what we're going to do is educate them on our products. And this survey, each question is designed to open the door to your giving more information with a by the way, instead of a structured, routine, boring, typical, I'm talking to you, I'm doing all the talking sales presentation. And it's going to enable you to start your business without a long learning curve, because I'm going to give you everything that you need. So your job is to spread the word about our new coffee. Like Susie said, all coffee, sorry, there's a plane going over. All coffee is not created equal. And that's what we are getting across to people. But the other thing is, a lot of times people come into our business and they have trouble asking for the order, and that's normal. And this is going to help you to educate someone, get their interest, let them taste the coffee, and ask for the order. And what to do if they say yes, and what to do if they say no. It's a way to introduce the business opportunity. And the questions on the form are ticklers that are going to help remind you of what your prospects need to know, so that they can make an informed decision about whether or not they see an opportunity to become a customer, or maybe become a new affiliate, or even give you referrals. And it's very well suited for, because so many people drink coffee. I keep forgetting the numbers. I gotta remember that, but I keep saying a bazillion people drink coffee every day. And it's a unique health and wellness consumable. This is the other thing that makes us stand out. And you've heard this before about our other products, but this is not a pill or a potion or a lotion that someone needs to take for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. It's the difference. So, and these coffee parties that the company is promoting are ideal for this. So what you want to do, and again, I'm just going to give you the helicopter ride, the overall strategy of this, is that what you're going to do is you're going to start off by picking up the phone, and you want to use the phone, not person to person. And it's like almost like asking someone to have a look at a video or have a look at the business. You're going to add, but the difference here is that you're going to start picking up the phone, and I will give you the script verbatim to say. And you're going to pick up the phone and ask someone to do you a favor and give you an opinion. Everybody likes to give you an opinion. You know, the old thing about everybody's got an opinion, like everybody's got a belly button. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask them to to give you an opinion. Now, who would you call? Like I said, there are a bazillion people who drink coffee. So you don't want, but you want to be a little bit more targeted in your approach. And what I typically say to people is to think of 10 people you know who are coffee lovers. But that's not enough. Who are coffee lovers, who are health conscious, and who are positive individuals that you know might have a need or a want. And just ask yourself those quick questions, but you're not going to prejudge. And don't overthink it. Start with just 10. And even look at it as practicing to get yourself confidence. So you don't need to know and memorize everything, because I've got a survey that has the script that teaches you to ask the questions and how to answer the questions. So the first people to call on your contact list are those that you think are most willing to help you. Do you a favor? Most people are, yeah, okay, I'll do you a favor. And one of the things that I make sure that they understand is I want to come around for about 20 minutes, and you want to let them know what the time constraint is going to be, or the time commitment is going to be. So what you're going to do is you're going to call them and advise them that you just partnered with a company that has introduced the world's healthiest coffee. And sometimes I kind of laugh and say, well, I know that's an oxymoron, but now normally those two words don't go together. So it's logical to say, I'm doing some marketing trials because we're introducing to the market. And you ask them if they would mind being one of the people to assist you by agreeing to do a taste test and answer a few quick questions on their coffee consumption habits, the taste, and the packaging. Can you hear me? There's some noise somewhere.
Hey, what's happening to our screen?
Don't know, but there's some background. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Did you accidentally share the screen, Laura?
No, I'm keeping my hands off the computer because I turned myself off earlier.
Well, somebody's screen is up there. Is that you, Kira?
It's Chris S.'s screen.
Let's see if we can stop the share.
Doesn't matter. Let me just go on here.
I got it.
Because I don't have a visual. I'm just really trying to talk through. And once our manual is updated, I will do a proper PowerPoint presentation to train you on how to use this if you want to. You don't have to. So what you want to do, like I say, is you want to start with the first 10 and think of it as practicing. And you ask them if they'd mind being one of the people to assist you by doing this taste test. Now, as I said, we have some specific scripts that you can follow, but just remember the object, like showing someone the business, the object of that first call is really just to get an appointment, not to sell the product. So, don't go into the specifics of the coffee. And even if they decline and say, no, I really don't think that's something I wanted to do, they'll be flattered that you've singled them out, to ask their opinion. And think long-term as you build relationships, because no may mean no, not now, and circumstances could change. So what this survey does is it covers their current consumption habits, their coffee consumption habits, and coffee knowledge, and talks about the packaging, and then it's also got this all-important tasting section. And I want to make sure that you understand, they're sitting in a chair or at a table or whatever. I have the survey in my hand with a pen. I don't give them a piece of paper and ask them to fill it out. I know what needs to happen. So I'm going to sit there and I'm going to ask them questions. And I was like, oh, did you know that? And yes, and nodding to get their agreement, etc. So some of the just to give you a typical example of the type of questions that you do. Actually, Susie mentioned something that I think is a good question that we can put in there. It had to do with, do you think of coffee as
nutrition?
Yeah, do you think of coffee as being nutrition? And that's a good, see, most except for the first part, we say, how much are you spending? Do you drink it blended? Do you drink it cold, etc.? And you write these answers down, because you're doing a survey with them. You really are. And, you know, this information, you know, it might help the company, but it's certainly going to help you know what your customers are doing. So another question would be, that I might say, would be, let's see, as you can see on the packaging, this would be when I'm talking about the packaging, Pure Energy is the name the Energetics chose for its healthy coffee. Can you guess why they chose that name? And they're either going to say yes or no. Whatever they say, there's a sentence that you, well, let me tell you where that came from. And so you're asking the question, and then you're answering it for them, but yes or no, etc. You're in charge, like I say, you're in charge of the process, and you're not going to hand someone a piece of paper to fill out. And for me, I learned this process years ago when I was a teacher, and I was doing all kinds of extra jobs to make money. Gosh, I was in my mid-20s, and I started to sell. I sold Encyclopedia Britannicas, and on my first day, my trainer handed me a script, and he said, memorize it, and then repeat it verbatim with every single appointment that you go to, because the whole document is carefully crafted to educate people on the products and the features and the benefits and why we're different from the competition, and it answers the questions and objections, and then at the end it teaches you how to ask for the order and for referrals. So this is what this document is going to do. It's going to be like I say, it's a non-pressurized way of dipping jumping into the pool and getting started without having to be, a coffee expert, because all the information is there on the sheet that I'm going to give you. And also a couple of things that I do when I typically do these I actually had a pet products business, so pet food business. So I would call the survey form a PET form, which is a product evaluation tracker. I quite like the name, but it doesn't really work for here. So, but it is basically, you tell people, it's product evaluation. So a couple of points that you can also do here is I go to the dollar store or craft store, and one of the things that you can do is you want to move them on from just tasting to either buying a product or possibly doing a 7-day sample trial. And if they're going to do that, we're going to give them a questionnaire, did you notice any increase in energy? And I want their feedback, but it gives me an opportunity possibly to even get an order, even if it's for seven packs of coffee. So what I do is I take these, kind of gauzy, nice looking bags that you can get at a bridal store or whatever, and put them in there and put some instructions in, and, pull the bag, etc. The other thing is if someone is willing to do a survey for me or product evaluation, do me this favor. As a thank you, what I say to them is and oh, by the way, as a thank you, what I'd like to do is I'm going to give you, and this is another way of introducing other products, I'm going to give you an EMF shield for your phone. And when I'm going to London, and I've got 5 days of tastings and parties scheduled, and I'm going to be giving EMF shields for their phone. As I don't know if I've got enough to give everybody one, but I might have to do, like look under your chair for the number to see who wins the EMF shield. But anyway, that's just all I'm saying to you is that I've got a system here that I'm going to be using because I have made a lot of money over the years using a system like this, because it didn't become just about me. It became a way for my team to go out and really hit the ground running, whether they were a business builder or whether they just wanted to retail product. So when kind of dating, judging and putting the right questions in there, and then I'm going to have it ready for me when I go to London in 2 weeks' time. So this is what we're going to be doing, and if it's something that you think you might be interested in, obviously we're happy to share that with you, and I'll even do a training for you. So just want you to know this is not to replace the coffee parties. It's just another, it's, you know, it's another maybe more of a personalized way to get things started. So just a quick helicopter ride on that. Thank you, Susie.
Thank you so much, Laura. That was a lot of information. And I agree with what you said at the end. It's not to replace the coffee party, but it is a sampling program. And this can lead to coffee parties, right? Because sampling people and they say, oh my gosh, this is fabulous. I love this. Say, oh, well, why don't we do a coffee tasting party? You can earn some gifts and you can earn some discounted products and, you know, we can have a bunch of fun. So the point of what Laura is saying is just to get some kind of energy infused into your business. And it's going to build confidence in you for the action. It's going to help you to gather some stories, some experiences that you can share with others, just like on these testimonials today. I mean, I think we got some really good value, not only to know that the product's being effective, but how we can the benefit of some of these stories in our business. And the other thing that Laura is teaching too is you want to have fun with people. That is like the number one thing that you want people to see you doing is having fun. Because people, if you're going to involve the masses, it's going to have to be fun. If people think what we're doing is drudgery, they're not going to be doing it. And just as I said earlier, just imagine if everybody in your business was doing this. I am trying to find this beautiful document. Oh, let me do it this way. That Jeff put together. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is right here. Yay! So this is something that you can, this is how you can stimulate some samples and some one-on-one presentations. Jeff just put this together. It's absolutely fabulous. And you can post this. I've been posting it on social media while I'm listening to Laura because I'm a multitasker. And this is going to stimulate some conversation and some interest, and hopefully you can set some appointments with people. But isn't this gorgeous? And look at that, the purest 1% of coffee beans, natural ingredients, Tesla. I mean, people cannot go anywhere else. And then look at how succinctly Jeff shows us this is going to make you feel good. You're going to have focus and clarity, you know, metabolism and diet, hair, skin, and nails. You know, I kind of wish I had not made my post so quickly, because I think what I would have said is, does your coffee do this for you? Mine does. Who wants to try it? And, you know, that's what I would have done. But anyway, I can always do it again, because you have to do things more than once. You know, it's not like you're one and done, you put a post up and hey, you know, people have to see things multiple times and hopefully get some stories. But anyway, it's going to talk about looking and smelling and tasting and the strength, and get people giving it some stars. And anyway, so that's wonderful. That's going to be in your back office. I want to thank you all for your time and attention today. And I also put my email address in the chat, because if you want the script that Laura is talking about, send me an email. We'll get it out to you. And, you know, maybe if it works out, she can teach that to you, some one-on-one presentations. And I thank all of those of you who gave testimonials today. You did a fantastic job. Laura, I thank you for your time and commitment, and cannot wait to hear what you and May do together in the UK. It's gonna be awesome. So thank you, everybody. Have a great week, and get sampling.
Cheers, and bye.
Bye, everyone.